Hello everyone, welcome back. Severed is here, coming back with part 6 of What If Deku Was an Earthbender. Now, last time, Izuku has fought against Bakugo in front of UA, and after ruining the walls and All Might just taking Izuku back into the principal office, and Principal Nezu told Izuku that he will gonna be expelled for 2 days. In the end, Izuku just left the place after fixing the walls. And now we continue. Izuku right now walking into the forest, looking down, seeing how he have, of course, embarrassed his master or just ruined all what his master ever told him not to give into your hatred or your anger or something like that. As Izuku got into the in front of the entrance, but before he knocked on the door, or at least the wall just opened up and Izuku walking the inside while he just looking down. In the end, he just find himself in front of the castle and got inside, and got into the room where he always drink green tea with his master, as he just seeing Kiyoshi sitting down drinking some green tea. Izuku sit in front of her and Kiyoshi said, "So, Izuku, are you caring to explain for me what's happened there?" Sensei, I can't. I doesn't have anything to say about myself. I just lost control. I doesn't even know if sorry will be enough. I'm just embarrassed you. Sensei. Don't worry, Izuku, it's not a big deal. I know how Bakugo might be such an angry and so annoying and sometimes even frustrating. I will gonna admit that the first time that I ever met him, I was actually wishing for myself to crush his soul under the mountain. But I just kept myself steady as stone. Yeah, steady as stone. Sorry. Izuku, come with me, please. As after that, Izuku go with Kiyoshi and standing in the middle of training area. And after that, Kiyoshi just smashed her leg into the ground, creating like a platform under her legs and Izuku legs, and as they start just going up. Kiyoshi opened the ceiling so Izuku can, get out inside the cave. After that, Izuku seeing in front of him a pile of rocks that has been putting above each other, and they are balancing so well. As the lots of rocks is like 10 rocks being putting above each other. As Izuku said, "Wow, is that what you always do in your free time?" "Yes, I kinda love to balance things." But as she just immediately using her wind bending, throw a little guts of wind on the rocks as the rocks just fall into the ground. And after that, Kiyoshi said, "Those rocks has fall down just because of a little push of the wind." But as she spin around and Izuku looking around, he see a big mountain. Kiyoshi throwing such a strong guts of wind on the mountain, but the mountain didn't even flinch. As Kiyoshi said, "This mountain didn't even flinch from the strongest gust of wind that I throw at." Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Izuku? I'm scared that I quite don't understand. Well, Izuku, these rocks has been falling down. They were always so balanced here, but just because of a little push, they fall down. Just like you, Izuku. Bakugo is just pushing you around and getting you angry, which making you lose your balance and lose your control over yourself. While this mountain, it didn't even flinch by such a strong gust of wind. It stayed like how he always was, in its place, never moved, not left or not into the right, standing in the middle of the way, refusing to be moved by anyone around. And that's how you should be, Izuku. Don't be like a couple of rocks being put above each other, waiting for a little gusts of wind to knock them off. Be like a mountain that doesn't care for the storms or the agony of the nature that will gonna be thrown at him. Oh, thank you, Sensei. I'll make sure to be even better than before. As he just bowed in front of Kiyoshi, and Kiyoshi said, "I know that you will gonna be better, Izuku. I'm proud of everything you've done so far. You're strong, smart, but you have quite a problem on your anger. You need to try focusing. Try yoga. Maybe go back into your home and try yoga for tonight. Alright? This will be your training for the next week. Try to use yoga. Okay, Izuku? And after every time in the morning you do a couple of, in the night doing some yoga, come into me in the next day so we can train in the morning on your metal bending. Understand this, Izuku? Yes, Sensei, thank you. After that, Izuku going back into his home, his mother made him some dinner, and Izuku actually started doing what his master told him. Doing some yoga to just take all that negative energy out of his body, or of his soul. After 2 days of just Izuku training with Kiyoshi and things like that, and doing some yoga, he didn't meet with Bakugo in these 2 days, which is kind of a plus. As on the third day, he going into UA wearing his school uniform, as he just got into the class and Izuku meeting with everyone just meeting with him, and things like that. Aizawa come into the classes. He said, "Welcome class. Today we will gonna go on a trip to the fucking what they call it, the USJ. Yes. So you have the right to use your hero outfit or your school uniform or gym uniform. Just wear anything that you like, but meet me outside, alright?" As after that, Izuku wearing his, of course, earthbending outfit and go outside as he got into the bus and everyone start talking inside the bus. As after that, Kirishima said, "Well, hey, Izuku, you lost yourself the chance to try the Heroes vs. Villains exam. The last time Bakugo and Ida wins, and they were so good." As Izuku said, "Yeah, I'm sad that I didn't had the chance to do that, but I was training." "Oh, really? What kind of training were you do?" Just doing some, going to the mountains, just playing with rocks, and just training on metal bending, as I finally managed to actually control it very well." "Oh, really? Can you show me?" As everyone started looking at Izuku, and Izuku just taking a couple of metal balls of his pockets, and after that he just start moving 3 balls of metal in his hand on a circle motion, and start doing some tricks between his fingers, and after that just start making the balls get melt together, making a big ball or something like that. As Kirishima said, "Yo, this is so great." As Mina said, "You're really getting so strong on using this." And of course Furupi said, "Yep, Izuku, you never told us about your quirk. What is even it is?" "I mean, you have 2 quirks, kind of. It is a half and half." "Oh, no, it's not a half and half." As actually Aizawa listening to this, he's listening to this because he still want to put an eye on Izuku. As Izuku continues saying, "No, it's not half and half, it's just a quirk, 1 quirk. I can control earth, and when I control metal, I just try to search for the earth parts, or the rocks inside the metal, so I can use it, because in the end the metal has come from the ground and I am controlling the ground. So yeah." As Baku said, "Tch, controlling the ground, the metal. Stop lying on us. I know that you have 2 quirks." As Mina said, "Are you really lying on us, Izuku?" "No, I'm not lying. This is the truth." "Bullshit! You're just lying. I know that. You lied about your quirk when we was in middle school. You never told me that you had one. You just was letting me bully you for the whole of your life, and after that just suddenly developed it. I don't believe in that, Deku. I know that you have a secret, and I'm gonna reveal it." As Izuku's taking a deep breath and said, smiling at Bakugo and said, "Okay." As Bakugo said, "Are you challenging me, you asshole?" As after that Aizawa said, "Shut up, back there. We got into the USJ, so shut the fuck up." And after that, Aizawa just telling everyone to go down the bus, and Izuku and everyone just going down, and going inside the USJ, meeting with the Hero 13. After a couple of minutes from just standing, a weird purple portal open in the middle of the USJ is like a black and purple. As Kirishima said, "Yo, I didn't know that we had a fake villains." As Aizawa said, "Fake villains? Where are you talking about?" As after that, a guy has covered with hands and a weird creature looking like a bird, and also a man that made out of mist come into through the portal. As Izuku seeing this, without a hesitation jumping down, using a pillar of stone, just pushing himself from the ground as he right now in the middle of the air, and going down ready to throw a punch. As Shigaraki seeing this, he said, "What is that brat gonna do? Kirigiri, teleport him into the ground." As Kirigiri actually opened a portal in front of Izuku, which was a very bad idea, because he made him go into the ground even faster, giving him a surprise element. As he immediately pushed this, throw a punch on the ground, making an earthquake, making Shigaraki fall on the ground. As Shigaraki said, "What the hell? Gary, open more portals and kill that brat." As after that, villains start coming in. Aizawa jumped beside Izuku and said, "Midoriya, what are you doing?" "I'm trying to help. I'm not gonna stand waiting for the villains to attack us." As after that, the other student tried to go, but they couldn't because Kirigiri has already teleported them away. In the end, Izuku and Aizawa start fighting together. Izuku smashing his hand into the ground and taking some rocks and just throw it everywhere. Some villains that having like the one that having a metal helmet on his head, or that one that shooting bullets out of his hand, is really not a big problem for Izuku since he can control any metal. And seeing that the villains there having some weapons, Izuku basically took those weapons and molded them again to be like something to wrap them around them. Just making I forgot, chains, and just wrap it around the villains. In the end, Izuku and Eraserhead has done from a couple of villains, but after that, Shigaraki said, "Kirigiri, teleport this brat away from here, and let us kill Aizawa or Eraserhead." As Kirigiri doing this, he teleported Izuku into the earthquake zone, which is actually quite a good idea. Izuku, if he used his power there, then he will gonna just make an even a bigger earthquake, making maybe the building just going down, which is not a very good thing for him. As Izuku just looking around, he being surrounded by villains and seeing Bakugo and Kirishima, or at least seeing some explosion coming out of a building. As Izuku said, "It must be Bakugo," and he trying to focus, he see Kirishima there and said, "Oh, so there's two people here, but I think I have my own problems." As Izuku taking an earthbender stand, and immediately after that starts using the metal that he have, like the metal balls in his pockets, and whatever metal that he got from the weapons of the villains. In the end, he managed to defeat most of them, but seeing that he left Aizawa there, he go to help him, as he just made a pillar of stone under his legs and pushing himself up in the air, covering his legs with some metal start levitating as he finally got into the scene. And after that, he just jumped down, seeing Eraserhead head being smashed into the ground by the Nomo, as Izuku eyes whiting and Aizawa just being smashed rapidly, and he looking at Izuku saying, "Run away!" As Shigaraki is just laughing, saying, "Oh, Eraserhead, looks like one of your students will gonna watch you die. Oh, kid, make sure to not forget this moment ever in your life, or you will gonna die anyway, so just wait and see." As Izuku just seeing Aizawa being head smashed into the ground, and seeing how he rapidly smashing up and down, and just hearing the sound, he immediately looking at the Nomo and throw a strong move of earth at him, throwing him on a wall. As as Shigaraki said, "What?" And after that, Izuku putting his hands behind his back and start walking into the Nomo and said, "Come to me." As Shigaraki hearing this, he said, "Come to me." Is he thinking that he will be able to defeat the Nomu? He's an idiot. Nomu, kill this brat! As immediately after that, the Nomu just go at Izuku full speed. Izuku just moving his fingers behind his back, making a wall of stone being built in front of him, blocking the Nomu attack. And after that, Izuku just destroy the wall and wrap the stone around the Nomo, and start levitating him in the air using his left hand and smashing him into the left. And after that, the Nomo just break through the stone and immediately go at Izuku. Izuku not looking even at the Nomo, immediately shooting a couple of metal balls at the Nomo, starts piercing through his body rapidly, just going left to right everywhere. Just when they just pierce through his body, they just smash into a wall and just going back at him, or Izuku just controlling them. In the end, the Nomo just being damaged a lot, but his regeneration are faster than Izuku could damage him. And after that, the Nomo just standing in front of Izuku and going to throw a punch, but Izuku immediately covering his left hand with the stone, dodging the attack of the Nomo, and throw a punch in his stomach, throwing him away on the wall, as he just knock the stone off of his hand and start walking towards the Nomo, saying, "Is that all what you got? Pathetic. Well, I think it's my turn." As Izuku immediately holding both of his hands in front of him and immediately scream in anger as he smash his leg into the ground, creating like an earthquake, and using the earth that has been falling all around, creating two big arms or two big hands behind his back, and immediately throw his left big hand that made out of rock on the Nomo and getting hold of him. As Izuku said, "You won't get away this time," as with the other hand just get hold of from the down half of the Nomo and rip the Nomo into two parts. As after that, the two parts just smashing them into the ground and throw them into the air, as he just creating a spikes of stone and throw them on the two parts of the Nomo, as he just being pierced through his body. After that, using the two big hands, making them one, and smashing the Nomo back into the ground. And after that, just smashing him rapidly up and down, going crazy. And after that, Izuku just making a hole under the Nomo and just throw him 100 feet under the ground. As Shigaraki after that, seeing Izuku breathing heavily and looking at him, as he just make the big arm turn into two hands, and Shigaraki starts shaking in fear, saying, "Kirigiri, take me out of here!" As Kirigiri immediately taking Shigaraki out of here, and Izuku said, "I'm tired. I'm really tired." As he just fall on his face and lose consciousness. Aizawa coming to trying to see Izuku, saying, "Midoriya, what the hell?" As he just lose his own consciousness. In the end, Izuku waking up in the hospital, as he said, "What happened?" As after that, All Might come inside the room and said, "Oh, young Midoriya, you done a great job defending the villains. You actually made them retrieve. You managed to defeat the Nomo that we really don't know where he is right now." As after that, Izuku said, "Oh, the Nomo? Yeah, sorry, the last thing that I remember is just going angry." Yes, young Midoriya, but I'm sure that since you are right now okay, I would likely wish from you to help us to find the Nomo. Aizawa told us that you buried him underground or something like that. Oh yeah, I remember that. Alright. And after that, Izuku and All Might going into, with of course the other police officers, so they can capture the Nomo. They just go back into the OSJ, as Izuku standing in front of the place that he buried the Nomo in it, and said, "It's right there, I'm sure of it." As Izuku taking an earthbender stand and moving his hand and just opened the ground, as All Might and the police officers and Izuku looking down They see just a pile of lava, as All Might said, "What? Lava? What happened there?" As Izuku said, I don't know. I just buried him underground. I doesn't know how did he manage. What's this? It's lava. As Izuku, tried to see anything, he doesn't see anything. The Nomo has been melted away into nothing. As All Might said, "Ugh, well, if you buried the Nomo here, then that's mean that he is dead. But, young Midoriya, how are you even able to control lava?" I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not able to control it. My head hurting me. As, after that, of course, Principal Nezu said, "It's okay, it's okay, Izuku. You can go back into your home. We will gonna take care of this." As Izuku said, "Thank you, Principal Nezu." And after that, Izuku go away, and Principal Nezu told All Might, saying him, "Well, looks like that he have another quirk, huh?" "This is not okay, Principal Nezu. He have three quirks: earth, metal, lava. I'm really suspicious of him. How did he even get this strong? And how did he even manage to burn the Nomo?" "I don't know, All Might, but we need to keep an eye on him. He has a secret that we don't know. But the question is, what kind of secret?" As they just looking on the lava. And this one gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what do you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.